Chapter 2105 Concentrated Strength 4. They are very concerned about Jang E's actions. After all, Jang E is now the top combat force in Huashu Kingdom. Whichever direction his foot goes will have a significant impact on the entire Huashu Kingdom. Jang E was not interested. When he asked other questions, Meng Yuanjun and Shang Daowen always managed to avoid the sensitive points. Jang E gradually felt a little bored. Even at this point, they are still hiding some things. However, from the perspective of Meng Yuanjun and Shang Daowen, it is understandable. To Jang E, a person without value is like a piece of tofu that falls under the table while eating. Instead of making him care, it will only make him feel troubled. When Yang Xinxin came out of the Earth Temple, Jang E glanced at her. There was a special light in Yang Xinxin's eyes. Jang E didn't ask any more questions. He just took Yang Xinxin with him and said goodbye to everyone else. Xinxin, we should keep in touch in the future. Guan Longhua said. Yang Xinxin just nodded lightly. After the two of them left Xinjing City, Jang E asked Yang Xinxin, "You stayed in a room for 2 hours. What were you doing?" He looked at Yang Xinxin curiously, then asked cautiously, "Is it convenient for you to tell me? If not, forget it." Yang Xinxin raised her head and met Jang E's eyes. "Brother, the way you talk is weird." "Ha ha ha. It's nothing. Jang E touched his head and laughed. Yang Xinxin did not hide anything from Jang E and told him everything. After hearing this, Jang E immediately said, "I know that Xinjing District has had a close relationship with the Qinling Dragon Clan over the years. We have also gained a lot of benefits from them." He doesn't care about other people's secrets, but if Xinjing District decides to join the war, Jang E will force them to provide more troops and weapons. "Where are we going next?" Yang Xinxin asked. "Let's go to the northeast region," Jang E said. Jang E is fully confident that the southwest and northwest regions will help. In the southwest region, both brothers of the funeral master received favors from Jang E, and the entire southwest region owed Jang E a favor. Just ask them to send troops. They will definitely not refuse. As for the northwest region, Xiaolai had just taken office, and his position was not yet stable. He urgently needed recognition from other regions, especially Jang E. As for the overseas deployment, they only need to dispatch part of their troops and sacrifice the death of love. If other regions agree, Xiaolai should also agree. Needless to say, the East China Sea region is now holding back its anger and is looking forward to fighting against the Wulwan Empire. So now, it depends on what the Northeast region and the National Protection Army say. Jang E turned on the communication device and contacted Luya Han Shanwa first. The old Northeastern commander Ji Changhai is old. He caught a cold during the previous battle and has handed over many powers to Han Shanwa on weekdays. Basically, Han Shanwa's nod would do the job. In the picture, the familiar fat man with a crew cut and leather jacket appeared in front of him. "Hey, isn't this Brother Chaos? It's been a while since we last met, and you didn't even bother to come and have a drink with me." Jang E smiled and said, "I was planning to go find you, wasn't I?" When Han Shanwa heard this, the expression on his face suddenly froze. That's great. When will you come over?"
"Right now."
"I'll be there soon." The complexity on Han Shanwa's face could hardly be suppressed. "Are you in such a hurry? What's the matter? Why is it so troublesome? Just give me a call. No matter what the problem is, I will definitely solve it for you." Jang E's tone became cheerful, and he said loudly, "Well, I feel relieved when you said that. I just wanted to ask you for help with something, and it seems like you mean I don't have to worry about this matter, ha. Wait a minute. I'll be there soon." After Jang E finished speaking, he ended the call. At this time, Han Shanwa, who was in the northeast region, was confused. "No, I was just being polite. Why are you so rude?" Han Shanwa had a headache at this time. Of course he knew why Jang E was looking for him. It must be because of the Wulwan Empire's attack on the coast. Either borrow supplies or borrow soldiers. But Han Shanwa felt that there was not much point in this matter, and it would be a waste to give the things away. But he had no choice, because Jang E was too powerful now and he couldn't afford to offend him. For a moment, Han Shanwa sat on the sofa and sighed. At this time, he was at a training ground in the northeast, training a group of newly trained aliens. Seeing Han Shanwa's look, the leader of the 5 northeastern immortals under his command, the fox fairy Hu Mengfong gave a few instructions, letting the newcomers practice on their own, and then walked over. "Brother Sean, what's wrong? You look so sad. Did something happen to your sister-in-law at home?" Han Shanwa raised his head and glared at the boy. "What the hell are you talking about? Get out of the way." Hu Mengfong laughed and didn't take it seriously. Instead, he sat next to Han Shanwa. "Tell me what's going on. Maybe I can give you some advice." Han Shanwa then told him that Jang E was coming to see him. After hearing this, Hu Mengfong rolled his eyes. Although he was Han Shanwa's younger brother, he was smarter than Han Shanwa, otherwise he would not be able to hold the position of Han Shanwa's top general. Chaos is coming. He is now famous all over the world, and everyone is rushing to curry favor with him. We must not offend him. What if we get into trouble someday, and we still count on him to help us out? Han Shanwa glared and frowned. Nonsense. How can I not understand? But the problem now is that he is in a big trouble and my limited force can't help. I'm afraid it will be wasted. Hu Mengfong laughed and said confidently, "Boss, I don't think you will lose anything in this matter." Han Shanwa glanced at him and asked, "What do you mean?" Hu Mengfong said, "Don't you think about what kind of person Han Dun is? He is smart and cunning, and has more tricks than a lotus seed pod. When has he ever suffered a loss or done something impulsive? If he really wanted to fight with them, he would have killed them long ago. With the strength of the people in Tianhai City, do they really need to borrow troops from us?" After hearing this, Han Shanwa thought about it carefully. You know what, it really makes sense. Huashu Kingdom has limited resources, and each major region has to train troops, but there are only a few aliens at the level of Epsilon. What about Jang E? The reason why he has so many elite soldiers and generals under his command during these years of fighting in the south and the north is that he has been fighting overseas and has experienced large and small battles and obtained resources. So far, there are only 2 Epsilon aliens in the northeast region. One is him, and the other is the newly trained Hu Mengfong. Chapter 2106, Concentrated Strength 5. In Jang E's eyes, this is not good enough. Hu Mengfong continued, "So, I think what they want is probably weapons and resources. And they're coming from the south, so they must pass through several large regions such as Xinjiang first. So, we don't need to rush this matter. We can first see the attitudes of other regions. Also, I have another idea." Han Shanwa turned around and said, "Go on." Hu Mengfong laughed and said, "Don't forget, in addition to our Tiger Army, there is another force in the northeast." A strange look flashed across Han Shanwa's eyes. "Are you talking about the Northeast National Defense Army?" In terms of strength, the Northeast National Protection Army is even stronger than their Tiger Army. Because the Tiger Army was mainly responsible for guarding the interior, while the Northeast National Protection Army needed to guard the entire northern border. The Black Emperor Zhuanshu Schwanba is also far more powerful than him. They need to guard the northern border and not take care of anything else. Can they leave? Why not? Hu Mengfong curled his lips, patted his thigh and said, "Have you forgotten? The last time Tianhai City resisted the invasion of the Wulwan Empire, didn't the National Defense Army also participate? Besides, Fremons has just experienced a great war, and now is the time for them to rest and recuperate. It is impossible for them to pose a threat to our border. On the contrary, the war situation on the southeast coast is urgent. The National Defense Army protects the entire Huashu Kingdom, not just the northern border. Let's call Schwanba over first. First, they are more numerous and can help boost our morale. Second, if we really need to send troops, including them can help share some of the pressure with us." The more Han Shanwa listened, the more it made sense to him. He couldn't help but smile and point at Hu Mengfong. "You are indeed a fox. You have a sharp mind. I will contact Schwanba right away and ask him to come over." The northeastern camp of the National Protection Army was not far from Fengtian City, so it wouldn't take too long to call Schwanba over. Han Shanwa immediately contacted Schwanba. After the call was connected, Schwanba's familiar low and cold voice came from the other end. "Hello, Luya. What do you want to contact me about?" "Hey, Lao Chen, it's been a while since we last met. Do you miss me? Please use code names in the military," Schwanba said coldly. "Names are taboo. Usually only people who are very close to each other will not call each other by name. And it is also impolite to call each other by name in public. If you ask, it is to avoid information leakage and being known by aliens with causal abilities." "Okay, Zhuanshu. Are you free today? Come to Fengtian." "What's up?" Schwanba asked coldly. Although the two troops were the closest to each other, he would never take the initiative to enter Fengtian City due to military duties. "Chaos is coming. He said he wants to meet us to discuss important matters." Han Shanwa's tone also became much more serious. When the name Chaos is mentioned, it is difficult for anyone in the entire Huashu kingdom to remain relaxed. When Schwanba heard this, his cold eyes sparkled with brilliance. "Chaos. Is it because of the attack by the Wulwan Empire on the southeast coast?" As a soldier, Schwanba was also furious after hearing the news. But he would not leave the northern border defense line until he received orders. Nowadays, although the 6 major regions of Huashu Kingdom are under their own jurisdiction, as long as the 6 major regions make a joint resolution, he will follow the common will of these senior leaders. "I know. I'll be there soon." Schwanba ended the call, put on his military coat, and walked out of his office. He said in a low voice to the communication device, "Xiaohao, come here." Not long after, a young soldier in white uniform with a figure as tall as a spear came up to Schwanba. "General, you are looking for me. Come with me to Fengtian." As Schwanba spoke, he got on the military vehicle and Xiaohao hurriedly sat in the co-pilot seat. Han Shanwa's words were full of loopholes, and Schwanba roughly knew what the other party's purpose was. After all, if Jang E really wanted to meet them, he would definitely send a message to Schwanba, and it would be impossible for him to let Han Shanwa convey it. But Schwanba didn't care about this kind of thing. He wanted to know what Jang E's plan was. Should we launch a counterattack against the attack of the Alyuan Empire? Not long after, Jang E arrived at Fengtian City. Fengtian City has also undergone reconstruction and now looks sparkling and silvery white from a distance. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a huge ice and snow castle. The northeast is extremely cold, and the ice here is as hard as gold and iron, making it an excellent material for city defense. The key is that it is inexhaustible. Adding thick ice in addition to the original reinforced cement concrete is really simple and convenient, and extremely practical. When Jang E arrived here, he saw Han Shanwa and Hu Mengfang coming to greet him. "Hey, Brother Chaos is here? Welcome, welcome. It's been a while since we last met. I missed you so much. Why don't you come and walk around more often?" Han Shanwa greeted everyone warmly as soon as he came up. "I've been a bit busy lately, so I came here right away as soon as I remembered it, didn't I?" Jang E also greeted with a smile. "Well, let's go inside and talk." "What a coincidence. When I heard you were coming, Zhuanshu from the National Defense Army was there. He said he wanted to see you so much, so I asked him to come over. You don't mind, do you?" Jang E raised his eyebrows. Originally, he was still thinking about whether or not he should join the National Protection Army. After all, they are in charge of the Northern Defense Line and their mission is very important. But now that the other party is here, it's always good to meet him, her by the way. After all, the more helpers you have, the greater your chances of victory and the fewer casualties will be. "Yes, of course I have to see you. Lead the way." Several people happily entered the reception area. As soon as I entered the room, I saw Schwanba and a man in white military uniform already in the room. There was also the old northeastern coach Ji Chonghai, who was wearing thick clothes and seemed to be stuffed into a chair. The 2 members of the National Protection Army were sitting, Schwanba at the top and the other man at the bottom. Jang E took a close look at the soldier in white and was sure that he must be an extraordinary person. If he is a guard, he should stand aside and not sit down. Moreover, for such an important matter, Schwanba brought people with him, so he must be no ordinary person. They should be the newly trained elites in the National Protection Army. After Jang E entered the door, Schwanba and Xiaohao also looked over. Schwanba's gaze was still as sharp as that of a wild goshawk, and his eyes were like a knife that could pierce through people. Xiaohao was looking at Jang E with some excitement and curiosity, but he concealed it well. "Xuanxiu, long time no see." Jang E smiled. "Well, long time no see." Schwanba nodded slowly. Dear viewers, thanks for staying with me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all.